Mastering ISO 27002. ISO 27002 is the key to unlocking operational excellence in information security management. What is the purpose and scope of the ISO 27002 standard, and how does it guide its implementation to ensure operational excellence in an organization's information security management system? In the pursuit of operational excellence, I've had the privilege of guiding numerous organizations in their journeys to implement robust information security management systems, ISMS. One such organization that comes to mind is a mid-sized financial institution, which I'll refer to as Greenwood Bank. As I sat across from Greenwood's CEO, Rachel, in her plush corner office, I could sense the weight of her concerns about the ever-evolving threat landscape. She had inherited a legacy system riddled with vulnerabilities, and her team's lack of cohesion was exacerbating the situation. I knew that ISO 27002, the international standard for information security management, held the key to addressing these issues. Rachel's eyes widened as I explained how the standard's guidelines could help her organization achieve operational excellence. I sensed her skepticism, but also a glimmer of hope. I reassured her that, together, we could create a tailored implementation roadmap aligning with Greenwood's unique needs and context. We began by conducting an exhaustive gap analysis, where we identified areas where their current practices fell short of ISO 27002's requirements. This exercise revealed some startling findings: inadequate password management, inadequate network segmentation, and a lack of employee awareness programs. It was clear that Greenwood's ISMS was in need of a radical overhaul. Next, we established a clear vision and objectives for the implementation project. This involved engaging with Rachel's senior leadership team to ensure everyone understood the importance of information security and the role they played in its success. I encouraged them to think beyond mere compliance, focusing instead on the tangible benefits of a robust ISMS, enhanced customer trust, improved incident response, and ultimately, a competitive edge. With our objectives in place, we proceeded to develop a comprehensive implementation plan. This involved assigning ownership to specific tasks, establishing timelines, and allocating resources. I advised Rachel to create a dedicated project team, comprising representatives from various departments, to ensure a cohesive approach. This diverse group would not only facilitate knowledge sharing, but also foster a sense of accountability. As the implementation progressed, we encountered several hurdles. One such challenge was obtaining employee buy-in, particularly among the IT team, who felt threatened by the looming changes. I suggested that Rachel hold town hall meetings, where she could openly address concerns, provide reassurance, and emphasize the importance of information security in their daily tasks. This proactive approach helped to build trust, and eventually, the IT team became some of the most ardent supporters of the ISMS. Throughout this journey, I maintained close contact with Rachel, offering guidance and support whenever needed. We regularly reviewed progress, identifying areas for improvement, and celebrating milestones achieved. As Greenwood's ISMS began to take shape, I could sense Rachel's growing confidence. She was proud of her team's accomplishments and recognized the profound impact this would have on her bank's long-term success. The day of the external audit finally arrived. As the auditor pored over Greenwood's ISMS, I couldn't help but feel a sense of trepidation. Would all our hard work pay off? The auditor's report revealed a glowing assessment, commending Greenwood on its commitment to information security and the tangible practices in place. Rachel beamed with pride as we celebrated this monumental achievement. Looking back, I realized that ISO 27002's guidelines provided the framework for Greenwood's success, but it was the organization's willingness to embark on this transformational journey that truly made the difference. By embracing the standard's principles and adapting them to their unique context, Greenwood had not only achieved operational excellence, but had also cultivated a culture of security awareness and responsibility. Implementing the ISO 27002 standard is crucial for ensuring operational excellence in an organization's information security management system, ISMS. The standard provides guidelines for the implementation of an ISMS, which is a systematic approach to managing sensitive company information so that it remains secure. It encompasses people, processes, and technology to achieve this goal. To achieve operational excellence, an organization must first define the scope of its ISMS. This involves identifying the assets that require protection, the risks associated with these assets, and the stakeholders who interact with them. The scope statement should clearly outline the boundaries of the ISMS, including the departments, locations, and teams involved. Once the scope is defined, the organization must establish clear objectives for its ISMS. These objectives should align with the organization's overall goals and be measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART. Examples of objectives may include reducing the number of security incidents, improving incident response times, or increasing employee awareness of security best practices. The next step is to perform a risk assessment to identify the risks associated with the identified assets. A risk assessment involves identifying potential threats, vulnerabilities, and impacts, as well as evaluating the likelihood and potential impact of each risk. The results of the risk assessment should inform the development of a risk treatment plan, which outlines the controls and mitigations to be implemented to reduce or eliminate each risk. Implementing controls and mitigations is critical to achieving operational excellence in an ISMS. ISO 27002 provides guidelines for implementing 114 controls across 14 categories, including information security policies, organizational security, asset management, and human resource security, among others. These controls should be tailored to the organization's specific risks and requirements, and should be reviewed and updated regularly to ensure they remain effective. In addition to implementing controls, an organization must also establish procedures for managing and maintaining its ISMS. This includes procedures for incident response, continuity planning, and security awareness training, among others. These procedures should be documented, communicated to relevant stakeholders, and regularly reviewed and updated. Monitoring and reviewing the performance of the ISMS is essential to achieving operational excellence. This involves tracking key performance indicators, KPIs, such as incident response times, security incident rates, and employee awareness levels. The results of this monitoring should inform continuous improvement activities, such as root cause analysis and corrective action. Finally, an organization must establish a management framework to oversee the ISMS. This includes assigning roles and responsibilities, establishing a governance structure, and defining policies and procedures for managing and maintaining the ISMS. The management framework should provide clear lines of authority and accountability, and should ensure that the ISMS is aligned with the organization's overall goals and objectives. In conclusion, implementing the ISO 27002 standard is critical to achieving operational excellence in an organization's ISMS. By defining the scope and objectives of the ISMS, performing a risk assessment, implementing controls and mitigations, establishing procedures for managing and maintaining the ISMS, monitoring and reviewing performance, and establishing a management framework, an organization can ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of its sensitive information, and achieve operational excellence in its ISMS.